Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Welcome in, everybody. We are recorded this week, so we are having to do this a little ahead of time because we are headed to SEMA, and so we are pre-recording this just so you guys have all the content and everything, and it'll be really difficult for us to go live in Vegas when we need to because it'll be 5 o'clock there, normal 7 o'clock here. So so it's going to be difficult to be able to get that live stream going. And we're going to be getting a lot of stuff at SEMA and everything as well. So, of course, you can listen to this on the podcast recording platform of your choice and everything, and also on YouTube. So we can check that out. So, So let's see. How did the weekend go, Sarah?
Busy. I got a lot done.
Yeah, we had one of your boys at our house all afternoon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there was good and bad there. And there was times where they were not getting along, but there were times they were there getting along great.
They bounced off each other.
Yeah, but they did not. They did not. Neither one of them want to go home. So
no,
Will did not want to be dropped off.
They'll be butting heads and they will be arguing and fighting and just a mess. And then you say, "Okay, time to go home," and they're like, "No." I love my cousin. Don't take him. Okay.
Anyway, so they were over this weekend, and and then Jeff and your mom went to IKEA.
Yes.
For 4 hours. I told them when they said they're going to IKEA and they were going to try to be back at a certain time. I'm like, yeah, whatever, we'll see.
I know. She's like, yeah, we're going to be back in time. I'm like, no, you won't.
It was 10 o'clock.
I was like, I know what the IKEA trap is.
4 hours. But so if you guys didn't know, follow us. So Jeff, my son, her brother, is moving into his first apartment next week. And so he's wanting to furnish it. And he's been saving up a lot of money for different furniture and everything. And he kind of wants to start fresh with new stuff. We offered the hand-me-downs. Nope, he wants his own stuff. He has his own theme for his apartment.
Yes.
So he's got this thing. He's got his own new computer desk, new chair, and everything. So he went to IKEA and got a bunch of kitchen supplies, silverware, all kinds of stuff, a little table, some chairs for his kitchen.
So it's not going to be mishmashed?
No. Well, I don't know. And he also ordered a couch.
When I moved in with Lebo, he had like 2 forks like this, 2 forks like that. These 3 plates look like this, and these 2 plates look like this. Like,
he does have a set of 4, so he can only have more than 3 guests over at once. Anyway,
that's a good number to start out with.
But anyway, no, he ordered a couch off of Target as well. It's coming, and he's looking to get a TV as well. So
yeah,
it's a 1-bedroom place, so it's not real big, but yep. So they had fun at IKEA, but they got in late, so it's just me by myself most of the night.
I cleaned my house top to bottom, and I did a deep dive into the books that we have, and we are donating a lot of books to the library.
I need to do that. All right. Anyway, so pretty good weekend, but we got a fun week coming this week. So Sarah and I leave tonight. Well, wait, for you guys, it would have been last night.
Yes.
We're leaving Monday night to head to Vegas. We'll get in late and get to the show early and get our media pass. And it did see we can get in at least 30 minutes before everybody else. At least media does.
Yes.
So we're going to get in. We're going to go to Ford Performance booth, get some videos to be looking. Hopefully, well, by now, you guys have already hopefully seen the videos. They're live. Didn't get a chance to watch them. Check them out. We did some videos at the Ford Performance booth and some fun videos for Maverick customers. We're going to try to see what Maverick accessories we can find at the show. So hopefully we did our job on that, and that'll be a Maverick Monday video. We're going to save it for Maverick Monday. And then also my favorite Broncos for my personal channel. So
yes,
be checking for all that videos and everything. And then later in this episode or in this recording, you're going to see some of the things that are some of our thoughts from SEMA recorded this afternoon for you guys to end this video out on what's on my mind. So, but we're still going to do scheduling, dealer news updates, and we even have some order bank changes, but I'm not sure exactly what's changed. We'll get all that into details for you as well. So all that other good content you're normally used to seeing as well. So
Yeah.
all right, but comment with each other, chat with each other. This is a premiere video, which means that it's live, and then you can chat with each other. So if you see the chat going, yep, down there, keep it going. You're going to be
Say
down
hi
there.
to-
We'll see if we can jump in there. I don't know if we'll be able to.
I don't know if Richie will be in there, but
Don't
if
know.
you see him,
think
he's our moderator, and say hi to him.
I think he's back home.
Yes, I
Sounds
think
like
they made it home.
Yep, think he made it home. And so yeah. And so yeah, I have all that down there, and hopefully we'll jump in the chat for you guys at least before it ends. So if you ask questions in the chat, we won't be responding to those. We won't be answering those. No Q&A in this video because this is pre-recorded. So I'll have to see if I can remember to put pre-recording down here.
I'm gonna have to start wording it as we are live most Tuesday nights.
Most Tuesday nights. Yes. So anyway, but yeah, we'll get into that and all that good stuff too. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification. If you like Ford news and stay updated on everything Ford related, we're your channel. We're going to have all that information
like to talk
on
to
there.
some Ford enthusiasts.
That's right. Plus, we have a great community on Tuesday nights, so check it out. If you want to be a member, by the way, we have a lot of members in there. It's not something we don't get a lot from YouTube on that, but what we have is a very a fun community, fun family is what I like to call it. Our members is a family, and we have a lot of fun. We do a Friday live stream. We do a Saturday lot walk, except for this last Saturday when it rained all day long. Sorry, everybody, I didn't give a lot walk for you. We'll try to get you members some. Plus, when we go on trips like this trip, we're going to get you guys some fun content from there as well. Some things we saw.
And you're headed to Texas at the end of this week.
Yes, and then my son and I are going to
video at Texas.
Yes, we're going to be driving down to Austin, Texas in the Mustang Mach-e Rally. I noticed it's not GT Rally. It's a GT with the Rally package, but everybody's just called Mach-e Rally. We're going to head down there. We'll do some fun videos of charging, how it went and everything, and some other things. We're going to actually talk about that adapter in a little bit.
Yeah.
Our experience down there, and then we're going to have some fun at a Cars and Coffee, and we'll get you some great content for members. We'll do our lot walk for this next week. We'll be there.
Yes.
No member live stream though on Friday. So anyway, all right. There's that. Also, if you want to get any merch, I actually have it just so that I can buy my own merch. But there's stuff in there if you want to go to the longmacarthur.myspreadshop.com. The 8th to 11th, this Friday, this weekend, basically, there is 22% off everything.
Ooh.
I'm not sure what the 22 signifies.
What day?
The 8th to the 11th.
Okay. I was going to order more polos.
There you go. Yeah, I might get some. Anyway, and then if you want to stay updated, there's sometimes things that break throughout the week and articles, and I don't do videos, but I'll write articles. So you can go to FordVideoGuyMedia.com and check out our blogs there, and we'll have content there as well. There should be at least one article, hopefully today, tomorrow, on Bronco. We hope, please. Anyway, all right. Recent videos. We Maverick Monday yesterday. We kind of enlightened you on some things that the brand manager told me about, so you can check that video out. Also, we've done videos on the Expedition Active, Platinum, and Trimmer. I was trying to do the King Ranch on Friday and Saturday, and just got swamped with stuff and didn't get to those. And then, of course, check out all the SEMA content as well, dropping too. I think you'll enjoy some of that stuff. All right. And don't forget about some of the channels we like. In fact, All Train Nation. Hopefully hopefully we caught up with them today. Anyway, we'll see them. And then friends Brian and Melissa, hopefully we'll go to dinner with them. We might be with them right now, so we'll see. Anyway, all right. So there's that stuff. All right, Sarah. Anything else? We're normally chatting with the members and we do member shout outs, but since recorded, we don't know. You guys are in there. So hi to all of our members. But other than that, we have a good dealer moment.
Yes.
We don't really have, I guess I'm actually recording this a Monday morning. We won't make you guess, but I am drinking a Java Monster.
Water with honey.
Yep. She's trying to fight off these allergies.
Trying
Yeah.
to keep my voice in good enough condition.
That's right. All right. You ready for a good dealer moment?
Yes.
We do have that, so let's jump into that.
All right, so today it's not pulled up on my computer, it's on my phone. So we have Spikes Ford in Mission, Texas. Desiree Lopez. I'm guessing that's how you spell it or say it. Desiree. No market adjustment. No required dealer accessories offered, but no hard sell for an extended warranty. No dealer advertising decals or emblems stuck to the body. They did install a removable logoed license plate frame. Quickly found and applied my private offer. This is from before when they were doing the private offers.
Yep.
Mail me a check for $1 for overcharge shortly after picking up the truck, and mail me a check for $400 plus for a price protection I was not aware of. So something he was not aware of, they went back, found it, and sent him a $400 plus check for
Not many dealers do that, so
nope.
that's
So
good. Good on them. So
Spikes Ford in Mission, Texas. Desiree Lopez was the sales associate.
There you go. Great job there. All right. Okay. So I think that's what we are. We're ready for scheduling notes and news and everything. So we're gonna jump into that and just follow that up with the dealer news, updates, recalls, and everything. Get all that stuff for you. And then yeah. So let's move on and get on to it. All right, let's get into scheduling for this week. And this week here, there's a combination of some models not scheduling and some that are. Because we're still working on October's allocations for this week, so we're still not refreshed for November yet. That again typically doesn't happen. I think we have to have our OTD everything in by the 8th. In fact, today is when we actually give them what allocations we want to take and receive or request for any more. I think most dealers have to have theirs done by the 8th. So probably next week is when we're going to see scheduling for November's dates or November's allocations. So again, we're still working on October's here. So let's dive in here and talk about terminology. Some of the stuff might be new. So let's talk about what's allocations mean and what is scheduling and what does all this mean. So let's dive in here. All right. So order bank, that is where your orders are placed, whether it be a stock order by a dealer or a retail order that is a customer placed order in the system. So those are placed in what they call the WebDo system or the ordering system or order bank for dealers. So when you're ordering, you're actually ordering a order from the dealer. The dealer places the order on your behalf. So you're actually not ordering it straight from Ford. You're ordering it from your dealer who places the order, and then it's placed in there's a retail order. Now, priority codes are given to all orders, whether it be retail or a stock. Retail is an 03 to 19. Anywhere in there, that can be the reason there isn't those different numbers is it helps the dealership stack their orders how they need to. Maybe there might be an order that's been in there for a while, and like, you know what, this is just not scheduling. Let's move it up to the top, move it to an 03. The default is 19 in the system. Now, some dealers like us, what we always automatically will do is we place an order in the system, we go ahead and make it a 10. That's just a default. All of ours should be in there as 10s. Sometimes we'll leave a 19 on maybe some of our orders, but typically all customer orders are going to be a 10 for us. 20 to 80 is stock orders. So when Ford pumps in an order, puts in an order for a dealer that they cannot delete, by the way, they'll put it in as a priority 80. When we place our own orders, we like to place them as a 20. So that kind of helps us kind of manage our orders that way. The lower, the better. So that's why retail orders are always going to be looked at before a stock order when it comes to scheduling for production dates, which is the next phrase. Scheduling. That is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future months. So they usually schedule those on Thursdays. So that's typically when you'll see those. Production date. That is when Ford takes an order and they schedule it for a production date, and they give it they're going to produce it this week or whatever. And those dates can move around depending on supply, demand, maybe being behind at the factory, something like that. Allocations. Now, Ford gives allocations to dealers to schedule their orders. So an order just because an order is in an order bank doesn't mean it can get scheduled. Without an allocation, it can't be. So a dealer needs an allocation to schedule those orders that are already in the order bank. And a dealer earns those allocations based on their sales for each of the model within their region. And actually, they're changing that now. Now it's within the state. That has actually just been a change here recently within this month. Constraints, that is options that may be in short supply or take longer to build. So if there's the capacity, which is the next phrase there, is the planned production rate for a particular motor, trim, or option. If the orders are higher than the capacity, there's one of the constraints right there. But also, let's say that their planned capacity can change based on the supplier they're getting parts from. And again, they're an assembly plant, and so that's how that. So they're assembling the vehicles and putting parts on it based on the supplies that they get from other people, and so sometimes that can change that. Job 1 and 2, that is a production run within a model year. It's split into two because sometimes if there's something that's not quite ready when the launch of the model, they still need to launch that and get production running. So that'll be job 1. And then if there's a new trim, something else that they want to introduce into the middle of the model year, they'll make that a job 2 change in production. Or if there's an issue with supplies and they cannot be able to fulfill what they need, they'll change the packaging of a vehicle. They just did that with Explorer recently, made some significant job 2 changes based on the supply issues they were having and getting those different parts for that. So they had to change the packaging of their vehicles because of it. And then they balance out. That is when it's the end of production, balance out for the model year or on a particular color or something like that. We actually have seen that happen with the Explorer, where they actually stopped making silver and then they introduced space white into some models that needed another color option because they did away with silver. So that sometimes happens. All right, first up, 25 model year Mustang. Currently 775 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are not scheduled this week, and the order banks are open, by the way, so you can place an order for a Mustang. No scheduling this week, and there are some notes in here, but with no scheduling this week, really, those notes don't really mean too much because they could change next week if they decide to schedule. Next up, 25 model year Escape. There's currently 120 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year, and this week they are not planning to schedule for the Escape plant. No other notes there. Next up, 25 model year Broncos Sport. There's currently 145 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up right now for all different trim levels, as well as those Sasquatch packages are available to order as well. They are scheduling this week for production weeks 12/2 through 12/16. They're taking a little bit longer than expected to schedule out those December build dates, and they still have January to build out as well. They're probably going to do that at the beginning of November, it probably looks like at this point. And then they are doing cleanup scheduling. So a dealer needs an allocation. They're going to try to fulfill those last allocations. So this is the best bet if you're a dealer out there trying to use those allocations, and maybe you need to put a stock order in. It says only the Big Bend version with the Black Diamond off-road package will be selected for December scheduling. Capacity for all other series has been exhausted after the commitment on 10/31. So last week they fulfilled most everything. They are needing some Big Bend Black Diamond off-road package vehicles. That's pretty much what they're looking at the schedule this week. So that's why, dealers, it's important to read your notes. If you have an allocation that's not been used, right, you may not want a Black Diamond package Big Bend. We've had pretty good luck with them, but if not, then that allocation might get pushed into next month. So, all right. Yeah, it does say in here, adding the Black Diamond off-road package will improve your order timing for the Big Bend orders. January scheduling will occur 11/14 for job 1 balance out with limited availability for all series, it says. And then it says Sasquatch Outer Banks package and Sasquatch Badlands package will be available for quarter 1. So we know those are going to be scheduled for those February production dates. All right. It says we will be taking retail orders for Sasquatch package, but will not schedule until job 2. Limited availability for the Black Appearance package. And, well, we talked about exhausted about everything else. So there you go. All right. Next up is the 24 model year Bronco. There's currently 153 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for that. And actually, the order banks are open up for the 25 model year. No pricing yet. Maybe this week. We can always hope, right? No scheduling this week. In fact, it says in here, 24 model year has balanced out. So there's going to be no more scheduling for 24 model year Bronco. They're going to start scheduling for 25 model year probably next week. but there's not any orders in there because nobody wants to order without knowing the price. So hopefully we find something out this week so that dealers can get orders placed. Next up is the 24 model year Mach-E. There's currently 34 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year right now. There is not going to be any scheduling this week. Again, a lot of times it's just, hey, if they haven't fulfilled what they need to for the plant for those December build dates, then they'll schedule. But most of them you're seeing aren't scheduling because they're done. They're ready. They're ready to move on to January's production dates. And so this kind of looks like to me on the Mach-E, that might be in the same situation there. It doesn't say that they're balanced out for 24 because next month's supposed to be 25. But I think that might be the scenario there. Next up, 25 model year Explorer. Currently 425 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year with the new Job 2 shift and changes to some of those. So definitely want to check and see what's different about those. And maybe I need to do a video on that because there are some pretty big changes. No scheduling this week. Again, they've probably scheduled out their December production already. Next up, Expedition. So we're gonna say 24 model year Expedition. 24 model year Expedition has balanced out. There's currently 207 orders. I will say orders in the order bank unscheduled for the Expedition. Some of those could be 25 model year. I think that's a combination of both because that number seemed to go up. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. And it does say 25 model year will start scheduling. Okay, it hasn't started scheduling yet. I think it's going to be like next week or the week after. So, all right. Next up, 25 model year Maverick. There's currently 3,200 exactly unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. They will be scheduled this week. They are trying to clean up and finish out December's scheduling for those build dates, December 2nd through the week of December 16th. Global version will not be scheduled yet. That is going to be scheduled for February build date. So that'll happen probably here next week, or actually I've heard later in November. Right now, it says best availability to get an order scheduled if you have an allocation that needs to be used. XL version, XLT version with the black appearance package, Lariat version. Limited availability for the all-wheel drive, and very limited to exhausted for the trailer hitch receiver with the 4-pin and 7-pin. So that's your 4K tow package. That's been heavily ordered, it looks like. And then also the all-season tire, which is standard on the XL and XLT version. So there you go. All right, next up is the 24 model year Ranger. There are currently 323 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. In fact, the 24 model year is balanced out. They've already planned theirs out, just like with the Bronco. That plant is done, ready, scheduled out 24 model year. They're ready for next week or the week after to start scheduling for 25 model year. So, and the order banks are open up for the 25 with pricing and building price as well. All right, next up, 25 model year Super Duty. There's currently 9,306 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year, and they've started scheduling for the 25 model year at Kentucky. So this week, they are going to schedule 25 model year for the Kentucky truck plant for the weeks of 12/9 through 12/16 that week, and 24 model year scheduling for Ohio assembly plant for 12/16 through 1/13. So they are in different scheduling of model years. So they're not done with Ohio with those cabin chassis and such. So they're carrying those over into January. All right. It does say in here that this is 24 model year balance out scheduling for Ohio truck plant. And so there you go. There you go. Very, very limited to exhausted for these following features. The crew cab version, the Lariat version, the 20-inch polished and dark carbonized gray high gloss painted aluminum wheel with a hot gloss black hub cover center ornaments that's standard on the limited F250 and F350 single rear wheel. Also, the wheel option, that was wheel option 64L, by the way. Wheel option 643, the 20-inch bright machine cast aluminum with the caribou painted pockets. That requires a TCW tire. That's the standard on F250 and F350 single wheel King Ranch. So that's the King Ranch wheel. Also, the 193-inch wheelbase. That's optional on XL and XLT chassis cabs. Also, limited to exhausted. The Dana Axle M300. That's the heavy-duty rear. That's optional on the F450, 550 dual rear wheel chassis cabs with the 6.7 liter or the F600 with the 7.3 liter engine. Also, the option 90M, the max recline seats that is available on the King Ranch, Platinum, and Limited pickup. Also, option 18B, the platform running boards is option on the XL and XLT. The 15J, which is a gooseneck hitch kit, that's option on all versions. And wheelbase, the 203-inch wheelbase fuel tank with the low sulfur diesel fuel, that's option 98L. And then the flow-through console that's standard on King Ranch Platinum Limited and optional on the XLT and Lariat. 97% of Lariats, I said, should I get that? Those are all very limited to exhausted availability on those. So take note of that. Next up is the 25 model year F-150. There's currently 2,971 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. They are scheduled this week for production dates the week of 12/9 and the week of 12/16. Cleanup commitment for those allocations. Again, this is finishing out October's allocations. Limit availability for the 801A Raptor without the tonneau covers or the twin panel moonroof. So, and then limit availability for the 3.5 liter engine and the Raptor R and the Raptor 37, as well as the 64X wheel, which is an 18-inch gloss black wheel that's standard on the STX 200B. That's new for this year, and also included in the XLT Black Appearance package. And also included in the Lariat Black Appearance package on the 500A. So there you go. There's those changes there. They did schedule a lot of 3.5 liter engines, so that's probably why it's constrained. So you probably need to look at the 2.7 or the 5.0 if you want yours scheduled. All right, next up is a 24 model year Transit. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year at this point. There's currently 1,806 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. That really dropped this week. They are scheduled for production weeks 12/9 through 12/16. Those would be for 24 model years. This is balance out scheduling for the Transit. Transit orders with the Transit Trail will not be selected for scheduling. In fact, I don't think you can order one right now because they told us in a note that that's not happening. And then also spec changing and cancellations for scheduled orders are shut off on 11/1, it says. So that's already done. Very limited to exhaust availability for the option 61D. That's the 360-degree camera with the split view and front washer, right? Front camera and washer. And then also the 5th row double seating configuration as well. So there you go. So that's all of our scheduling information for this week. And if you have any questions, of course, we are recording this, the live stream today. So as well as the scheduling video. So drop those in the comments. We'll try to get those answered as much as we can. If you drop it during the live stream, we probably won't be answering it because, again, it is a recorded live stream. So there you go. All right. All right, so let's get into the dealer news updates here. And I actually have some information on incentives and rebates, and these are from the Kansas City region, but they usually carry out nationwide for the most part. But we're going to go in through some incentives and everything for the month of November. If you're looking to get something off a dealer lot or something, or if you order something during this time frame for this model year, which actually most of this has to do with 24 model year, so you can't order any of this anymore, so never mind. But normally you can lock in any incentives on anything ordered, but a lot of this is on 24 model year. Sell down time. It is end of the year. Always see this happen, but let's go in through some of these incentives that are available. And then we'll actually get into some other things like some charging things for your the mach-e, and what we're going to talk about later that we already kind of know about. Actually, you know what? We're not going to get into that because you're going to get into that later. So we'll cover that later. But let's get into this, and then we'll do order guides. That's what I want to do. There's a couple order guides that have been updated this week, actually on the 31st. So we're going to go through what we know so far, and then I'll have to deep dive on them and get back to you guys next week if there's anything major on those. So, all right, let's get into this. Okay, first off, the Bronco. So Bronco Family Conquest Cash. So there is 1,000 on the Bronco Sport, 24 model year Bronco Sport. That's $1,000 Conquest Cash if you are a Jeep owner. I don't know if you have to trade it in or not, but Conquest Cash for that. $2,000 for any 23 and 24 model year Broncos that are out there. So if you have a Jeep. So now if you've had a Jeep, always wanted that Ford Bronco, now's the time for you to do that. Now, I don't know why anybody would, but if you have a 23 model year for the month of November, then you get $6,000 cash back plus $2,000 Conquest Cash that's available. So that's going until December 2nd, because December 3rd, those all go final pay. Final pay means that the dealer just gets a set amount. There's no incentives or rebates, and then they just price it accordingly after that. So I don't know why you'd have a 23. We don't, yeah. But anyway, if you find a great deal, if you find a 23 at a dealer's lot, a new one, negotiate like heck with them, because $6,000 cash back on those, and they're going to want to move that. They should have already done their job and sold it by now, but there must be some 23s out there, or Ford wouldn't put that out there. All right, next up is we're going to talk about SUVs here, because it's SUV sale down here for the month of November for 24 model year Escape. 1.9 for 60 months plus $5,000 or $500. Sorry, take off a zero. $500. 1.9 for 60 is pretty darn good. Usually when you carry it to 72, they add about to go to 3.9. Pretty good incentives for the Escape. We've had our first 25 show up, so they want to get rid of these 24 model years. The 24 model year Bronco Sport, and they emphasize Big Ben. So the Big Ben gets a $2,250 rebate, as well as a Conquest Cash. So you can take that rebate. Also, they're also including with the $2,250 and the Conquest a 5.9 for 60 rate if you want. I don't know, might be some better rates out there, but you have that option if you want to through Ford Credit. 24 model year Edge, you can find one of those. We actually have one in stock. $4,000 cash back. About time. They haven't been putting a lot of rebates on the Edge, and we're happy to see this ourselves. We need to sell down and sell out of these Edges. It is balanced out for good. So last opportunity to try to find a new Edge out there if you're wanting that and like those vehicles. 24 model year Bronco, Badlands and Wild Track. So only Badlands and Wild Track. They get $500 rebate and 2,000 Conquest, along with 5.9 for 60. Or maybe the better deal is $2,500 cash back plus a $2,000 Conquest if you have a Jeep. That's a pretty good deal. $2,500 on Badlands and Wild Track. I think it's just $500 on the other trim levels. Just so you're aware of that. But I don't know. They must have a lot of Badlands and Wild Track sitting on dealer lots, and they want to move. 24 model year Explorer. So we actually don't have any anymore. But if you have a dealer that has one, 1.9 for 60 months plus $1,000 cash back as well. And then 24 model year Expedition. We do have about 4 or 5 of these. $5,000 cash back or special 2.9 for 72 months. That's pretty darn good rates when you're figuring out how much money those Expeditions are and carry that out for 72 months. That's a great way to save a lot of money as well. See which way works best for you when you're working that car deal there. Stock F-150 now. 24 model year F-150 for November. We have STX gets 3.9 for 60 plus $1,000 cash plus $1,000 if you have a trade assistance. I don't know if you have to. Yeah, you have to trade it in, I guess. And $2,000 for Ram Conquest. They want to. I don't know. They want to take out Ram for some reason. But there is, if you have a Ram, there you go. If you have a Ram trade-in, you're talking $3,000 plus $1,000 plus 3.9 for 60. Or you can take $4,000 cash back, $1,000 trade-in, and $2,000 Ram Conquest. So not too bad of a deal there. And there's some low APR cash as well that's out there if you want to lease. So check that out as well. So $4,000 red carpet lease cash plus Conquest, plus $1,000 trade-in. There's pretty good lease money, so check it out. Again, always work your deal and say, hey, I want to check out what a lease is going to be versus a buy. So always do that with your dealers. XLT, pretty similar deal. 3.9 for 60, $1,000 plus $1,000 trade-in assistance plus $2,000 Ram Conquest, or the same $4,000 cash back plus $1,000 trade assistance plus $2,000 Ram Conquest. So basically the same as the STX. The Lariat, though, is a little different. 3.9 for 60 plus $1,000 plus $2,000 Ram Conquest, or $4,000 cash back plus $2,000 Ram Conquest. And then they do have some low APR, but you don't have the trade-in assistance isn't there for the Lariat trim for some reason. So, all right, let's talk Super Duty. Very rarely see incentives on Super Duty, but we have it for the month of November. XL and XLT pickup. That's not your cabin chassis. Your pickup with a bed, $2,000 cash back plus $1,000 commercial vehicle cash. So I think you have to show that you're a commercial customer to get that. Or if you're commercial, or you get 3.9 for 60. So that doesn't say you have to be a commercial. So 3.9 for 60 or $2,000 cash back, additional 1,000 if you're a commercial customer. On the Lariat pickup, Lariat trim, $1,000 cash back. And actually they had that last month as well, but there you go. Some pretty good Super Duty deals right there. They don't mention any kind of low rates on a Lariat trim, just so you know that. So now there is some good lease opportunities, it says, for the Escape, Explorer, and F-150. We kind of already talked about F-150 and look at those leases, but there are some examples they have in here. Let me pull out my glasses for this because the print is very small on these. All right. So they have an example in here of a 24 model year Escape active 1.5 liter 200A, where the MSRP is $30,990, and you get a 36-month lease. Doesn't say the mileage in here. I assume it's 7,500 miles, and it's $347 a month for that. So there's a lease example right there, and the lease rate looks like is 2.22% for that. So advertised. And then 24 model year Explorer XLT rear wheel drive 202A, starting at $43,685 MSRP with a 2.87 lease rate for 36 months is $436 a month. And this would be plus tax, of course. Oh, and it is, there it is, 10,500 mileage a year. So there you go. And 24 model year F-150 Super Crew STX two-wheel drive with the 2.7 EcoBoost, starting at $45,890 as a 4.17% lease factor. 36 months is $452 a month. So there you go. So there's some of those that information there, and some of the breakdowns on here as well. Yeah. So there you go. All right, and then Bronco has some leases. So Bronco family here. We got Bronco Sport Big Ben, 24 model year, starting at $31,390 MSRP in this advertisement. 36 months. 1.05 lease factor rate. That is ridiculous. $357 a month for that. 10,500 miles on that lease on that. Now you can adjust. It'll adjust if you want to do 7,500 miles or you need more miles. It'll just adjust that price, and the residual factor will be adjusted. Now on the 24 model year Bronco Big Ben, 4-door, 4x4 with the mid package, automatic transmission, $45,405 starting price, or MSRP price, I should say. It has a 5.36% rate, so not as good. 36 months, $499 a month. And these, again, would be plus tax because it's based on where you live. So there you go. Now let's talk about Model E for a second. At least factors on some of those. 24 model year, Select, rear-wheel drive, standard battery, standard range, starting at $42,390 for MSRP price. Has a 1.25% lease factor, 36 months, 10,500 miles, $320 a month. There you go. 24 model year Mach-E premium standard range, $46,390 starting price. Same lease factor and everything is $330 a month. 24 model year Mach-E premium extended range, $49,390 starting price, or MSRP price, I should say, is $351. Now, if you talk your dealer down from those prices, then your leases are going to be less, right? So that's where these aren't going to always be what you're going to get, because hopefully you can talk them down to invoice or whatever, and that will adjust and affect that price, that payment, right? 24 model year F-150 Lightning XLT standard range, $60,090 MSRP, 0.88% rate for 36 months, $333. You can almost lease a Lightning cheaper than a Mach-E. This is crazy. How about a Flash? We got a bunch of these in stock, 10 of them in stock. F-150 Lightning Flash, 312A, extended range, $70,590. Actually, we have 3 vehicles with the exact same MSRP in stock right now. We have them marked down like 10 grand off, so I'm sure we can do much better than this. 0.88% rate, 36 months, $424 a month. That is ridiculous. let Ford take the hit on that in 3 years, right? Drive it for 3 years at those payments, and that's a pretty darn good deal. So, all right. Now, it doesn't mention in there if it includes the power promise or not, because we still have the Model E Power Promise where you get a complimentary Ford connected charge station. That is the 80 amp one, by the way, plus a home installation is included. Or you can take the $2,000 alternate cash instead. Let's say you have a charger already and you don't need that, then you can take that option. Or if you're just like, you know what, I think I can get it done cheaper anyway, there you go. The charger's like $1,300. So if that tells you anything, they're figuring about $600 to $700 for install, right? So, all right, so let's check out some of these other incentives. If you decide you don't want, instead of the lease deals that we have some low APRs instead. So on 24 model year Mustang Mach-E, there's 0% up to 72 months. So 0% to get one of these. Plus you get $500 plus the charger and install, or you can take the $2,000. So there you go. The RCL cash is $6,500. Now you know how to get that lease rate so low. So there's those options on Mach-E, and that is across the board, no matter what. Even on a rally, 0% for up to 72 months. So there you go. All right, Lightning. Talk about that for a second for rates. So 0% for 60 months, or 1.9 for 72, plus the charger. Or you can get the $2,000 instead of the charger, right? Cash. If you want to lease, it's $3,500 plus the charger, or $3,500 and the $2,000. So that's why those lease rates are so low on that there. So there you go. So some pretty cool stuff there. So don't forget on the when it comes to EVs or anything with the if you're wanting the Blue Cruise. Sorry, I had to think for a second. I'm looking at this and reading it and saying, well, I don't see that it says Blue Cruise anywhere. There is for Blue Cruise, they updated the pricing. A 1 year price now is $495. Before it was like $800, right? So they've lowered that down quite a bit. So you can get that $495. You can get that at the time of purchase. So if you get a vehicle, whether it be a Mach-E or a Lightning, and it has the 90-day trial, so you can get it a 1 year for $495 from your dealer, or at the time of the delivery at your dealer, you can get the lifetime, which is $24.95, and that's a minimum of 7 years is what they're saying. So that stays with the vehicle, by the way. Or monthly is $50 a month, which I actually just purchased a monthly one on mine because I'm going to take a couple trips this month. So there you go. That's an option too. And then I'm going to cancel at the end of the month. But there you go. There's some options there for that. And just to kind of let you know what vehicles have Blue Cruise for the 25 model year, the F-150 Platinum and King Ranch get a 1 year included into those. And then, of course, you can get the other plans extended after that if you want. The Lariat Tremor and XLT 302A has 90 days with the option of adding the 1 year plan or even the lifetime plan, right? Expedition, 25 model year that you can order now. Platinum Ultimate gets it 1 year included as standard equipment, or that's standard. And the King Ranch, it says it's also included, which is weird why it wouldn't be just standard. Must be a certain package on the King Ranch or something, but you get that as well. And then Platinum Tremor and Active has the hardware, 90-day trial, but you can option for that at the time of delivery, or you can order it with your vehicle too. The Explorer, Platinum, it's standard 1 year. And then after that, you can sign up. Again, you can get that through your dealer or on your order. The ST and ST line also have the hardware 90-day trial with the option, again, at the time of the delivery, or when you order your vehicle, to get a 1 year or a lifetime plan. Mach-E, the GT, and of course, if you add the rally package, it's 1 year of the Blue Cruise. And then Premium Select, it's 90 days, and then you can add that to it. Again, you can order the lifetime from the dealer or at the time of ordering. So I know I'm repeating myself, but I want to make sure everybody knows. F-150 Lightning Platinum gets 1 year activation of Blue Cruise. Lariat and Flash gets the hardware in 90 days. And then you can option, of course, for those models to get a 1 year subscription, and then or the lifetime on any of those as well. So there you go. All right. So lastly, on talking about EV, we do have the home and public charging update. Some people had a bad batch of the fast charging adapters. These are the ones that are more kind of look like this image there. So that one there, They had a batch. If you got emailed, then you were included. If you didn't get an email from Ford, then you don't have to worry about it. Your charger is still coming, or your adapter, I should say, is still coming. This is a no-cost one. If you ordered this ahead of time, they said that the new ones for those that had the bad batch are being shipped out October 31st, or begins October 31st. Now, on top of that, because they need more adapters for these, and these are going to be included if you get the mobile power cord now for 25 model year, they're working with Electron to get with an adapter to be able to be included. So these adapters are going to be coming. You can also purchase them for $200 because if you didn't get the mobile power cord, then you'd have to purchase one to get it. I have one similar to this, and I say similar because I have the Vortex one. Looks like that. This one looks like that. I have the Vortex from Electron that they sent me so that I could do a review for them. And I've been told that these are actually different. The CEO from Electron said they've worked with the engineers from Ford to make this charger, this adapter, even better than their Vortex one. So if you have a Vortex one out there, it's a little bit different. They're not saying how it's different. I think maybe that they noticed on some of the ones, like I haven't had any issues with mine, but some people have had the Vortex and they've been overheating and getting hot because you're sending 250 kilowatt of power from the Tesla adapter or from the Tesla charger through that adapter, and then it condenses it down in the mobile inside to 150 max. So maybe it's just overheating because there's more coming in and it's trying to the adapter shouldn't be reducing it, but it is overheating, I think, in some of them. Maybe probably the longer you charge. I've only charged for like 15 minutes on mine or 20. But they say they've been working with Ford, so it's a little bit better adapter than what the Electron Vortex adapter is. So little known fact there. So there you go. There's all of our dealer news updates for this week. Actually, we do have order guide updates. Let me go over a couple of them. So on the 31st and 1st, Ford did update a couple order guides. The F-150 for the 25 model year, the Mustang, and the Explorer, as well as police responders or police interceptors. But I don't know exactly. I haven't had a chance to look. I can tell you that some of the optional equipment pages for the F-150, XLT, and on up, Lariat, the King Ranch, the Platinum, Tremor, and even the Raptor, something changed on the optional equipment pages. Nothing with the standard equipment changed. I'll deep dive and look and compare them together to try to figure out what's changed on those. But I did notice those pages have been, they always tell us what pages have been changed and show us the new pages, but they don't always tell us what's been changed. Now, also on the Mustang, they actually did tell us what changed on this. So they added the wheel images on the order guide for the Mustang, and they also added the door trim black onyx to the Dark Horse standard equipment page. So that's been changed as well. But they also printed off the optional equipment pages for the EcoBoost, the Premium, as well. So something changed on those pages too. So I'll deep dive on that as well and see what's changed. But something else has changed on that, and they're not letting us know about. And I'll figure it out and let you guys know next week. And then on the Explorer, 25 model year Explorer, they did change some things on this as well. There's a lot of things that's called in here as job 2, and I don't know. I know that we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but they did mention on here that they added the available 21-inch bright machine aluminum wheel with the tarnished dark pockets. That's a 64D on the Platinum 600A. The available 21-inch dark alloy was added machine aluminum wheel in the Ultimate Package Platinum 600A. And then they added the keyless entry keypad is optional on all series, which I think we talked about that already. Sun and Sound package on the ST has been added. They added the Space White exterior color on Active and Platinum series. They removed the 20-inch polished aluminum wheel on the Platinum 600A. They removed the iconic silver paint color, and they revised the Ford Blue Cruise to 1-year plan is now standard on Platinum series. And then they also, it says they revised the second row captain's chairs are now standard on Active series. Second row 35, 30, 35 bench is now optional on all series. And I actually think I talked to you guys about this about a couple of weeks ago about what's changed. But we'll also deep dive because there's a lot of pages that change, about 20 of them. So we'll deep dive on that as well and see what else is I could find that changed because they redid all those order guides. So we'll get a look at that. But that's again, just real quickly, those just came out. I just noticed it this morning. So we'll get that more information on that, and hopefully next week's live stream. All right, let's go over recalls. And some of these recalls were ones that I didn't have time to cover last week. So there's quite a few on this. Again, we're going to timestamp everything in this video. Of course, if you're watching it live, you can't fast forward. But if you watch it recorded, you'll be able to skip through this if you don't want this part. But first off is Harvest Program 24H02 on 2015 to 2017 Mustang vehicles. It's a seatbelt option. So this program, it will be in effect through November 30th to 25, or until the requested number of seat belts have been collected. So they're wanting, when they say harvest, they want to get information from people to make sure that they're protecting everybody. So reason for this, and it's like 330,317 vehicles could be affected by this. But this is a proactive investigation program by Ford Motor Company to obtain field parts for evaluation. Ford is voluntarily conducting this program to evaluate the field performance and functionality of the obtained seatbelt retractor assemblies. Parts obtained from this part must be returned to Ford for evaluation. Letters are going to go out this week for this, for people that want to participate in that. All right, next one is safety recall 24S42. This is actually an update, supplement number 1, it says. So they, in this update, for those that didn't know, this is for 25 model year F650s and 750s. So maybe not too many of you, has to do with the steering tie rod assembly inspection. But this in here, we've talked about this in the past, affects 2,718 vehicles. And some of the affected vehicles may be equipped with steering rod ends, tie rod ends, steering tie rod ends that may fracture and result in front axle steering disconnection. So this in here, they did update this bulletin with repair remedy is now available. So if you have one of those, you can take it in. Also, they updated the labor allowances and part ordering information for dealers in the technical instructions. So now it is ready to rock and roll right there, as I might say. All right, this next one also is an update to recall. Safety recall 23S64 for 2018 to 2021 EcoSports, 16 to 18 Focus, and 17 to 21 Fiestas with the 1.0 liter EcoBoost engine with the automatic transmission. So we've actually talked about this before. It affects 136,135 vehicles. And in some of the affected vehicles, the engine, oil pump, drive, belt, tensioner, arm may fracture or separate from the tensioner backing plate, and or the oil pump drive belt may degrade and shed pieces of material, resulting in a loss of engine oil pressure. The loss of engine oil pressure may result in engine damage and or seizure, which can result in a loss of motive power and a loss of the mechanical vacuum pump required to provide power brake assist, increasing the risk of a crash. So this in here, they did update this. This is, again, supplement number 1, which means the recall was out. They've updated it. In this update, they updated the long-term rental guidelines. So if you bring your vehicle in for this, they're going to give you a longer for a rental for you to drive. Also provisions for towing. So if you need to tow your vehicle in, that's in there, as well as a labor allowances and parts ordering information for dealers. So that's been updated. So see your dealer for information on that. And those letters have already gone out to those owners. So just some updates for those that haven't had it done yet. All right, next is Customer Satisfaction Program 24B66 or 24 model year Expedition and Navigators with the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. And this program will be in effect through October 31st of 2025. 17,144 vehicles are affected by this. And some of the affected vehicles, it is possible the required software required for the Pro Trailer Backup Assist feature was not installed in the vehicle during assembly. A customer with a vehicle that did not receive this required software will be unable to complete the trailer calibration process required to use the PTBA feature. Trailer maneuvering using the steering wheel will be unaffected. So, yeah, so that there you go. So that makes it. This went out. Letters to people went out last week. for them, so they'll know who all is affected by that. So there you go. All right, this next one is an advanced dealer notice on a safety recall 24S67. When I say advanced, that means they're not ready yet. So this is just to kind of let dealers know it's coming. For this supplement number 3, or actually this has to do with a different recall, but this is an incorrect bolt replacement for Transits 23 to 24 model year equipped with the 975 rear axle. So 808 vehicles are affected by this. Incorrect part number and description details were provided with safety recall 24S05 dealer bulletin supplement number 2, which could have led to the wrong bolts being ordered and installed on vehicles. This can result in rear wheel lockup or possible separation of the wheel from the axle shaft, resulting in loss of vehicle control or loss of vehicle motive power. In some cases, the vehicle may roll in park if the parking vehicle is not applied. Parking brake is not applied, sorry. So anyway, letters are going to be going out soon to once the repair instructions are available, the letters will go out. So, all right, this next one is another advanced notice, compliance recall 24C35 for 24 model year Mustangs. Get the right M1 Mustangs here. This is a black instrument panel cluster. So 6,192 vehicles are affected by this, and the affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified by the federal motor vehicle standards that has several different numbers here. Customers may experience a black instrument panel cluster screen while driving or upon the vehicle startup. This black IPC screen may occur randomly and persist until the next time the vehicle is turned on. A black IPC screen does not display vehicle speed, fuel level, engine status, or other critical safety information, increasing the risk of a crash. So they're saying it won't affect the function of your initial vehicle, just that screen, right? It does say owners of record will be notified via first-class mail after repair instructions and parts ordering information have been provided to dealers. So this is an advance notice on this. They'll get all the official stuff out eventually. Safety recall 24S66. This is another advanced notice. Again, anytime I give you an advanced notice, that means this just letting dealers know that this is coming. But if somebody comes in, right, we don't have the repair orders ready yet. This is on 23 to 24 model year Super Duties. This has to do with the tailgate top view camera replacement, right? And this affects 24,921 vehicles. On some of the affected vehicles, water can ingress on the interface between the camera and the top of the tailgate, and the tailgate park assist sensors interface module, which may lead to a malfunction in the rear view camera system. This might be why they're not including it in 25 model years, by the way. So owners will be notified soon once the repair orders are available. They're not available yet, like I mentioned. This is just an advance notice for dealers to know it's coming. Another advance notice is compliance recall 24C34 for 25 model year Aviators and Explorers. 391 vehicles are affected by this, and some of the affected vehicles, the customer may experience a temporary loss of the rear view camera image while the vehicle is in reverse gear and traveling above 10 miles per hour. These vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified by the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard number 111. The rear view image meeting the requirement of S5.51 and S5.52. 5.5.2 shall remain vehicle visible during the backing event until either the driver modifies the view or the vehicle direction selector is removed from the reverse position. Loss of the R review camera image while in reverse increases the risk of a crash. So make sure if you have that, you see that screen, you're looking behind you and everything. Owners will be let know as soon as repair orders are available. Again, this is an advance notice on this recall as well. All right, here's one, safety recall 24S54. This is actually supplement number 1. We've talked about this one before, I think back in September. This one came out. This is for 23 to 24 model year Corsairs and Escapes, 24 model year Mustangs, and 25 model year Explorers. Missing O-ring supporting disc on Bosch fuel injectors. So this is an update again to that recall. They added the labor allowance and part ordering information. The technical instructions as well has been updated to include the direct fuel injector as a note for the special service tools, and also the added essential special service tools to the administrative information. Only 24 vehicles are affected by this. And some of these, there's a missing O-ring supporting disc. The fuel injector missing an O-ring support disc may leak fuel. Customers may notice a fuel odor both inside and outside the vehicle, and/or may experience difficulty starting their vehicle. If leaked fuel accumulates near a hot surface, customers may observe smoke and/or experience an underhood fire. An underhood fire increases the risk of a crash. I'm glad to see there's only 24 affected by this, but letters should have gone out the week of October 4th. All right. This next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 24B56. This is a supplement number 1. And we've talked about this recall in August is when it first came out. This is on 22 to 24 model year F-150 Lightnings equipped with the front park aid feature. So there's looks like 48,757 vehicles are affected by this. Didn't even know they made that many. I could probably made that joke last time. In this supplement, they updated the administrative instructions, minor updates to the text regarding the changes. The labor hour allowances have been updated, and some of the technical instructions have been updated as well for this. And some of the affected vehicles may exhibit an inoperative front park aid feature with the front parking sensor not available. Available sensors blocked. It says the C manual. Actually, I think one of ours that just came in has this. The vehicle may also display a visible identifier of sensor blocked on the sync screen while the camera view is on. There is no associated diagnostic trouble codes for this condition. Letters should have gone out to owners September 9th for these. All right. And then lastly, Customer Satisfaction Program 24P27 for 24 model year Super Duties with a pickup bed. So it has to have a bed on there. And this 3,962 vehicles are affected by this. And this program will be in effect through October 31st of 2025 within the bumper-to-bumper warranty coverage, of course. And letters haven't gone out. There won't be mailed on this one. It is a customer satisfaction if they have this issue. Some of the affected vehicles, the fuel filler door hinge pin may not have been fully seated in the fuel filler door housing, may result in a misalignment of the fuel door, preventing the fuel door from fully seating while closed. The fuel door will not detach from the vehicle, though. So there you go. So that is, again, if you find that happening, if you have a 24 model year Super Duty, then with a pickup bed, then you might notice that, and then you can take it in and get that taken care of.
All right, we thought we had a little fun today. We went to SEMA and we went and enjoyed SEMA at the and it checked out most of the West Hall, the Silver Lot, even outside the West Hall a little bit, and didn't get all of SEMA. You can't do SEMA in one day. And for those that don't know what SEMA is, I don't know what the abbreviation is. Somebody in chat will put it in there. They know what it stands for. But it's basically for dealers and people in the automotive industry that would that are kind of highlighting their products for dealers who maybe want to work with, whether it be on the service side, the aftermarket side, the new car side. And so the manufacturers will usually have a booth. Yeah. Ford is really kind of focused in on for SEMA for their Ford Performance line and that kind of stuff. But you'll see a lot of people that can do spray and liners. We saw a lot of people wanting to do wraps, right? A lot of wraps, clear.
Manufacturers
clear
don't give you good colors.
Right.
Wrap it.
Yeah, and we saw how many of those stinking Cybertrucks lined up in one booth?
There were 9 in that booth, and then I'm pretty sure I saw another 10 to 20.
Yeah.
In just the West Hall.
Oh yeah, there was one with a woody type of appearance on the outside, and there are a lot of Cybertrucks this year. We didn't see those last year, of course, but one of the things we didn't see this year that we were really surprised on is Mavericks. There were 0 Mavericks that we found, and I guess in the app it actually can tell you how many of each vehicles and where they're located and everything. And someone, I think Kelly had actually told us that there were 0 Mavericks in there.
Yeah.
And like 79 Broncos. So
and only one Bronco Sport.
Yeah, one Bronco Sport, and which is Ford Performance's Bronco Sport. So
yes, which wasn't with their booth; it was somewhere else.
yes, so it was in another hall that we were able to find. So we did a video. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to see yesterday on the Ford Performance booth what all they have there and what their plan is and everything else with that Ford Custom Garage and everything, which is. It's a different principle, instead of just taking parts and trying to, hey, let me just, here, I want a bronze package in my Bronco. Here, I got to order these, and these. Instead, I want to do it into one package.
For our dealership, we already do that.
Yeah.
But most dealerships don't have that option. So this is a good way for them to go, oh, you would like to do something to your vehicle. Well, these packages are provided by Ford. We can get that for you.
Yeah.
So it provides the dealers a little bit more that don't have a specialized aftermarket department, a way to get packages.
Yep. And one example of that is that their FP 700S sport truck, right, the street truck that they have with the lowering kit and their supercharger and everything else. Well, along McArthur, we set out and did that, years ago, and decided to do those builds, and we're already in the middle of doing that. So, unless somebody wants a Ford sanctioned package, then they can order it from us, or we can order it for them and put it on their vehicle. But we're already installing superchargers, the same superchargers they use, the Whipple superchargers from Ford Performance. We're doing our own lowering kit and everything, and we like the IHC versus what Ford Performance is doing just because of how that sets and how it drives and everything. But and some things like that. But it's still, I'm glad that they have they're putting that out there, because like you said, dealers, not all dealers are like us. Not dealers have the people to do that install, and even some dealers, not every dealer will be able to do that install for you. So because like superchargers, it takes a specialized craft and person and technician to be able to install the supercharger. So it has to be a Ford Performance dealer. So that works with Ford Performance. So we actually struggled with trying to figure out how to order this. So we figured, hey, people are going to be coming to us because it said contact your dealer. So we said, we can't order it, because for what we do is you go to Midwest Parts, for us Midwest Parts Distributor, and you order it from them. Well, that part's not in there because they're not carrying it right now, because this is new. Right. So we'd actually have to call them or call Ford Performance and have it shipped to your dealer and order straight through Ford Performance, which is what we'd have to do if we wanted, someone wanted to do this. Then we'd have to do that. But at least we figured that out. And that's where SEMA comes in play, is we were able to go there, talk to them in person, and figure out the people. And they actually were looking at it. And I think
she even was like, are you sure? Because we've sold some. There have been purchased units of this package. So are you sure?
Yeah, it's not where we're normally used to going, which is Midwest Parts. You have to go straight through Ford Performance. So anyway, and so but they had some engines there as well, crate engines. They have a 7.3 Megazilla that was pretty cool. That has some major power. We have a Godzilla package that we do with the 7.3 liter, but this takes it a little bit further than that, a lot more horsepower and everything, which is cool. But it is a $20,000
addition
engine that you have to switch out. Plus the install, it'd probably cost $25,000 just to put that in there. But anyway, so all right, so we thought we'd also talk about some cool things that we saw. Of course, we saw a lot of Broncos and everything. I like
the Wild Funds. I really like those. The green accents. Both the Bronco and Bronco Sport have those green accents. The green interior, specialized leather or cat skin covers. Both looked amazing, and those were my favorite from Ford. Yeah. Of course, I did see the one with the horse graphics, and that takes the win.
It's the Bronco. Yeah, so we'll try to get you those images, because we basically from that, if you want to check out almost, it's not all the Broncos, because I just said, hey, we're just going to get as many as we can.
Yes.
And so all the Broncos we saw, we filmed a lot of them, not all of them, but because there's some that I'm like, well there's not much on that
There's
one.
also the fact that I walked the floor twice. He walked it once, I walked it twice. And on my second round through, he saw some that I didn't catch. So
It's hard to find them all.
there's so many, and they've tricked them out so differently that it's hard to be like, is that a Bronco? Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
find them all when they're so tricked out and up on rocks and whatnot.
Yeah. So some of these, a lot of these Broncos that are done that way, it's vendors or people that are like, hey, like Armadillo Design, they had their 2 Broncos there. Bronco are friends of ours that are a YouTuber as well out there, and he had they used his Bronco to highlight their Armadillo top. And so these companies will do that, and they will use these other vehicles to do that and highlight
Why
their
purchase
product.
a vehicle when
Right.
you can use a customer's
Yeah.
vehicle?
We saw Buster's Bronco
Yep.
there and tricked out with a bunch of stuff, and he's really been about the suspension and upgrades of being able to go
Yes.
and not break your Bronco or whatever. But and so getting the different parts, and he had some cool things on his, and some of them had a list of those things.
Yeah.
So those vendors kind of use other Broncos to be able to highlight that, and so that's why all these custom builds.
So what did you see?
There's a lot that I liked. There's a lot of things that I liked on the Broncos. So there
Yes.
wasn't like one particular Bronco that just is like, hey, I like this one. But there's just a lot of like things that I'm going, oh, that would be nice. And
But you're
so.
the type of person to trick out your own vehicle, to want to personalize it and go nickel
Yep.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You like to Frankenstein your vehicle.
Well, we talked about one of the things that when I talked to one vendor, I says, oh, that's a fender flare I can get around, because one of the things that I
Yes.
don't like is, and it's a personal thing for me, preference, is that on your 4-doors, you don't have a lot of clearance on that back fender flare between the door closing. So you see a lot of the fender flares on the back that are kind of, I call kind of pieced out and actually stuck onto the door. So it's basically 3M adhesive onto the door. And so when you open the door, or you take your doors off, that fender flare is not complete, right? Because if you have a wider fender flare, the purpose of that is to help protect from mud and such coming up and over, right? And so it's supposed to protect from that. So when you take the door off and that fender flare is on the door, then you lose that coverage if you have the doors off. So that's the kind of look that I'm not a particular fan of. So I like the fender flare. That's why I haven't switched mine out.
Yeah.
But we found one that was kind of pretty thin and sleek, and it was pretty cool that I thought was nice. I'll try to show you an image of that.
I think we saw one that had one that was up underneath the wheel well. So that way it wasn't on the body itself, it's underneath.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because you only have a little bit of the wheel well that the factory one goes on. Before you start getting into the door. But anyway, so that I did see, of course, a lot of them had some really nice, a lot of them were using cat skin leather.
Yep.
And there was one there that had they worked with all kinds of Salina, it had Roush, it had RTR all pieced together.
And I think we figured out that he's a racer.
Yeah.
So he's promoted by all these people to off-road race.
Yeah. So
That one was really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, they're not. I mean, there was just a lot of cool Bronco stuff, and like I said, we're kind of hoping to have some Maverick stuff so we could do a special Maverick Monday video, but there wasn't any.
No.
That was a little disappointing, especially with Maverick customers wanting to do so many accessories to the bed and stuff. But anyway, but it was fun. It was good to kind of see everything again. We stuck to the West Hall. West Hall is everything, like a lot of the different aftermarket companies are in there, and the protecting people that want to do protect your vehicle.
The clear coats, the clear wraps, the 3M wraps, those types of things.
Yes. One of the halls is dedicated to wheels and tires.
Yes.
And I'm not sure what else. I think also some new products coming. Now, I wish I would have gone that one because I didn't realize that one had some of the new products, which would have been cool to kind of highlight. So I missed that. But then a couple other was really service related, which wasn't in our realm, so we didn't go to those. But there's a lot of different halls, and then the silver lot is all full of the builds. People that I think that are vying for that best build or whatever, and which they're narrowing it down throughout the week. So I think Friday is when they announce the best build of SEMA or whatever. But crazy stuff. Talk about crazy stuff.
They had a truck there. Its wheel is as big as me. I had to go stand by it so we could get a picture.
Yeah.
The wheel comes up to here. I'm like, why do we need that? In fact, it's so tall that they have to have a lift that comes down to the ground so you can climb on it and then take you up to the top to get in. So I'm just like, where are they driving these? Where are these being driven? Because they're built with F-250 bodies.
Yeah.
It's an F-250 that's been lifted with giant wheels. I'm like, where are they driving
Yeah.
these? I've never once seen one of these on the road, but we're also from the Midwest where everything is practical.
Yeah. It's crazy. The one was going up and down, or they were lowering it down because he wanted to get something out of the bed.
Yeah.
And it probably took about 2 minutes just to get the vehicle lowered down.
Because he has to lower the back, then lower the front, then lower the back, then lower the front, which we've had a Patty built where it lowered and raised, but it raised and lowered as one entity.
Yeah.
Itself. This, he had to like lower front, back, and gradually get it down enough so he could get stuff out of it.
Because, he was getting something out of the back of the bed for somebody. And he couldn't get into it. So it's some crazy stuff. And, of course, we always said that lifted, but we also saw lowered.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got any images
lifted
of
as high as we... No, I didn't get the lowered. Because there was a truck that was touching the ground.
Yeah, it was lowered. I'm sure that it goes up to drive and then comes down to park. But so it was like the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs. But but anyway, RTR, went by their booth.
Yeah.
And so they have, because they partnered with Fox.
Yes.
And Fox, so basically dropping it like Roush does to the Fox factory, and they put the build together. Yeah. Because of that, they can have custom paints.
Right.
Which again, we talked about earlier. That's a thing now because they're tired of the factory colors being kind of blah and plain, right? So they're doing custom paints, including they bring back the Mistachrome.
Yes.
So we actually have one coming, and now they have the Spec 3. So Spec 2 is basically your body kit and everything else, your aero kit and all that. Spec 3 is supercharged. So basically your Spec 2 is supercharged with the Whipple supercharger, which we did one of those.
Yeah.
We had a Spec 2 that we supercharged with. Technically, we probably had the first Spec 3. It's just it wasn't done for RTR. But we have a Spec 3 coming in the Mistachrome.
Yes.
So
they have other colors, and if you go watch the video, they have plenty. They have some from Porsche and Lamborghini.
Yeah,
so they've taken some of those colors and added it to their lineup. So you can get some premium colors on your Mustang.
As well as a throwback Ford one that's one of my favorites, Leadfoot.
Yes.
So
that is one of Vaughn's favorites.
Yeah. So anyway, so pretty cool, fun stuff. And but now we got to get back on the road and get back to Kansas. And so I'm sorry this is a day late for you guys, but we wanted to include some of this information and footage into the video for you, so you guys had that as well. And we'll see you guys in regular time next week. So yeah. I think that's all we have. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I think that was all.
Okay. Well, thanks guys for watching. Stay positive. Be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.